just cleaning out the silo. It's empty. I'm expecting feed again tomorrow. There's one disadvantage with a bin system like this compared to a silo. If you have a silo, the fresh feed gets blown in top of your old feed, so its stock rotates automatically. This way here, I've got to empty this out, so I kind of gauge it. There's only maybe, I don't want to leave myself too short, so I normally gauge it that I'm getting delivery with maybe about half a ton left. And that way, if the delivery's put back by a couple of days, I'm still safe. But it means I just have to lift a half ton out. I put it in a sack over here, and then I get my new stuff blowing in, and I just pull from the sack. And then when that's emptied, that's how I rotate my stock. It's a little bit more work, but for the cost saving, it works for me. And I don't particularly want to have a silo here. We're in a very exposed site. Silos are typically quite high, 20 foot high. I know there is other options out there, but if I'm going to be, I don't want to be having a high silo. We get a lot of strong winds during the winter, and also I don't want to interrupt any of the neighbours' viewpoints by going up above the skyline effectively. So this works well for me, and I'm very happy with this system. Another load of organic grain, pumpkin, I'm doing a little bit of a test here with some straw. Wood chip sometimes it can be really hard to get it, or sawdust, so I'm just doing an experiment here with some straw. Now the thing is, if you typically use just straw that's been baled straight, it's too long and it'll make a big mat, and I find it very difficult to use for bedding because the birds just defecate on it and it makes a mat and they can't penetrate through it. But we've chopped this up to see if it'll work, so it's a bit of an experiment I'm running here. We've chopped it up into kind of like 2-3 inch strands, and if I can come through here in a couple of days and rake it no problem, and rake through it and turn up the bedding, then it'll be a success. If it makes a mat and it makes it really difficult to rake and it's kind of hard to work, then it's going to be a no-go. So a bit of an experiment for the bedding, because it's much easier to get my hands on organic straw than it would be trying to get multiple sources of sawdust. Sunday morning breakfast, Heather Hill Farm bacon and the most delicious sausages ever. Yummy! It's that time of year again, folks. We are making Christmas cakes. And it's got all my fruit, my nuts, my mixed peel and everything. I've got my wets, so it's an orange, a lemon and an apple. And of course the secret ingredient. Ready to wet this up. We soak this overnight and then we'll make our Christmas cakes tomorrow. I'm probably going to make 2 of these. Oh, I love Christmas cake. Check those guys out. Some yummy Christmas cake. Gotta check to see how they cooked with the old clean skewer. Looks good to me. Going in there. Perfect. These guys are actually in for like 4.5 hours on a really low temperature. So I'll let them cool off for tonight, and then we've got to feed them some whiskey and wrap them up. Feed them every week to Christmas. I'm just in Kellybags at my drop off, and I'm just waiting here. I'm actually reading a great book, Gave Burn Start to Soil, but interesting operation going on here. These guys are moving salmon to the fish farms. There's fish farms out in the bays, and we'll see them take off now, but they're taking the little salmon, so the little baby salmon. The trucks bring them in, so the trucks drive down the road here, and then they're going to load up the helicopter, and you'll see it with a big bucket of baby salmon, and it's going to take them way out to the bay where they've got fish farms. I wonder will I ever get chickens delivered by helicopter. And there they go off with a load of salmon, flying fish. And they take them the way out the bay, is actually over the peninsula out there. They've got the fish farms. The ambient temperature is 8 degrees outside today, and you can see we're almost double that in the compost, and it's rising. I'm only after putting this in. It will probably go above 20, and very wet. These girls don't like waiting days. We've been hanging up some fruit or veg for them as well, just some beetroot We'll let them eat the leaves and then we'll lower it down, let them eat the tuber. Yeah, we're climbing. That wraps up the video for this week. I've been spending a lot of time in the office here, and see I'm working behind me. I'm working on my brooder for next year. I'm a little lean-to brooder. I'm also working on my garden plans. So our plan is not to grow any veg for sale next year. Our plan is to just have a garden for feeding ourselves. So I'm putting in, we've got 20 10-meter beds outside, and that's a lie, we've got 25 10-meter beds outside and maybe 5 50-meter beds inside. So I'm just putting in a seed order for all the beds that we'll need for next year, and I'm doing a materials list for the lean-to brooder and trying to get all that together so that I can have the material here in the new year, and I'll do those projects in the new year. And just also a note on our internship, I've extended the deadline to towards the end of December. Just I've had a few people contact me with some questions, so just want to give everyone a chance to get their CVs in, and really looking forward to that next year. It's going to be exciting having more people on the farm. It's exciting to have people learning and all the excitement of that, so I'm really looking forward to that.